Welcome back once again to the Drop Bear Gamers Community Podcast. I'm Fergal, your host, and tonight we're going to continue to look at Counter-Strike Global Offensive. This is episode 3, and we're going to get back right in with the boys, so here we go. That's good. Alright, so does someone want to give me a breakdown of a normal competitive match? So you said it was 16 rounds or 15 rounds. Is that half time? Is there? How would we start? Maybe Easton, if you want to give us just a basic rundown. How would a competitive match play out?
Okay, so basically starting round 1, both teams on pistols with 800 cash. So you can end up with a few things happening. You have a whole team of idiots that decide to play by themselves, and the enemy team kind of laugh because they know they've got this one in the bag. Or you could have a team that works together well. So you might have one guy buy armor and another guy buy him a Desert Eagle. Very high penetration and also very high damage, and the enemy are usually they're usually bought Kevlar.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll stick with the basic pistol and have Kevlar. So
yeah.
That's the basic body armor, right?
Yeah, it's body armor. It's not body and head
and helmet. Yeah.
And so the Desert Eagle's able to penetrate through that fairly easy, and it's 2-3 hits and someone's dead.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's tanking base. It's tanking someone to put them through the enemy team.
I think the right term's called rave bossing, isn't it?
Oh,
Raid bossing.
Yeah, raid bossing. You could effectively leveling up the tank to take all the damage and dish out some at the same time.
Yep. And he's obviously the first one around the corner.
Yeah, he's the first one and the last one that the enemies want to see round the corner. Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah,
he's the guinea pig.
Well, yeah, but basically it means if he dies, the next person right behind him is going to pick up a Desert Eagle.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
yeah, definitely.
So you've still got this whole economy of dropped weapons as well. So even though someone died with a weapon, it's not lost until the round is ended.
Okay.
So that whole effect comes in, but it moves through the game. So obviously, second round, people have a little bit of more money or a little bit less depending on what they've done. And so you might step into the realm of SMGs, which are cheap, able to move fast, able to spray a lot of bullets, and they've got decent armor penetration and alright range. You wouldn't really buy a rifle second round in. It
depends on what you're going for.
It does really depend, but it is a very high risk. Because if you are massively ahead and you get that rifle second round and you die, you have given the enemy team a rifle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
which is money worth, like we were talking about with the AWP before.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can be very difficult to get an assault rifle plus a full set of armor with head armor too, because that's also very expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something that usually won't happen until minimum round 3, usually round 4.
Yeah, back to round 2. The enemy team that lost the first round would usually be on force buy, so they'd buy usually head armor and chest Kevlar.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they would
Tech
probably
9.
a Tech 9 or a P50 or
Yeah.
a pistol. They wouldn't
A
have
pistol
enough
with
for a
decent
submachine
armor
gun.
penetration.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And their aim in that is to pick someone off, obvious or something, and pick up the weapon that someone else has bought.
Round, it's still the aim to win because their enemy. So the guys that won the first round, their economy is not that great. So if you beat them in that round, you have the upper hand straight away. You don't have to go through the whole economy system as much.
Yeah.
You don't have to whittle down their economy. So when they lose that round, they're forced straight back onto pistol armor.
Yeah, okay.
You've stolen their weapons, so you effectively just refill your armor and buy a few grenades.
Much cheaper.
Yep. You're probably only spending 1900 instead of
32.
Yeah, 32, 34.
Commonly, well, not too commonly, but if the terrorist side get the bomb plant down, they get the $800 from the plant, but then the CTs end up defusing the bomb. They've lost the rounds, but they've actually gotten, it's about, what,
1,400 plus 800.
It's 2,000. Yeah, so $2,200 in their bank.
Mm-hmm.
So you commonly see them do a full save, or maybe just buy a pistol, no armor, and then
Yep.
try and do the rush to the site, get the bomb plant down. Because if you can do that, then you've got
It's a full by round 3 for
the full by
terrorists.
round 3. Yeah.
And by
Yeah.
that point, most CTs will still be on their submachine
SMGs.
guns, which don't
Yeah.
do much armor penetration.
Yeah.
Either that,
That is
or they'll be on rifles with only body armor and not body head.
Okay.
That
Yep.
is a benefit though of buying a rifle. If the terrorists if I'm playing CT, usually if the terrorists do get a bomb plant and they go for the save the next round, I know that they're going to have a good buy. So that's why I'm commonly, these guys say you don't usually see a rifle second round. I'm usually the one who does buy a rifle second round. Usually the cheaper ones like the $2,000 Galil on T
Yeah,
side,
you'd buy
or
the
Yeah.
FAMAS or the Glue. You
FAMAS
wouldn't
or-
buy an M4 A1S,
No.
which is
No.
3,100.
that's too much of a swing.
Or
Yeah,
an
well,
AK
you're not going to be
27.
buying armor, full stop.
Mm.
Yeah.
If you were going to buy that.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
M4. Yeah.
Then
Okay.
going
But if
up
they get the
against-
bomb plant,
yeah,
if they get the
going
bomb
up-
plant, I'm probably buying a rifle because I know they're going to be on a full save next round if they're playing correctly at least.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm able to basically mow them down with the rifle, the good rifle, and then on
Yeah.
the next round, I'm
You
not
can buy
having to
your
drop
own
my
armor.
SMG. I'm not having to drop my SMG to buy a rifle. I've already got my rifle,
Yeah.
and then I'm
Yeah.
going up against people who have full Kevlar and
Yeah.
helmet and AKs.
Yeah. And you have penetration from your rifle.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what
Penetration
makes the
and
game so
range,
interesting.
that's
Yeah.
the one thing.
Yeah.
The range thing. Yeah.
Because each game's different. So one game you might buy your rifle, like everyone
Hmm.
might buy rifles. On the next game, you might choose yourself to just go pistol armor against pistol armor. And
Yeah.
then the round after that, you'll be on a complete full buy, and they'll be just destroyed.
Yeah.
For a couple rounds after.
Alternatively, if your name's Eastern Xanatos, a shotgun is a perfect time to buy for round 2.
Round 2 shotgun.
Round 2 shotgun,
They're
it
not-
works amazingly.
That isn't actually. It's pretty good, like because.
Yeah. But
there's
you've got to put them at choke points. Like this
Yeah.
is the issue. Like range and damage comes into it again. A shotgun sucks at range. You don't go in engaging something.
An AWPer. Yeah, even,
second
yeah.
Round, so it would be like a Desert Eagle long versus
Yeah.
a Nova. That's a
Well,
in-your-face weapon.
Yeah.
But with a Nova, if you do get a kill, you get a great amount of cash from
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
kill, rather than
800.
getting a kill with a SMG or an assault rifle. You get, I think
Yeah.
it's like 900.
So you,
Yes.
so you get a kill bonus depending on the weapon you've killed.
Yes.
Yes.
With.
There's five different levels. With an AWP, with a kill with an AWP, you get $100. So that's sort of the encouragement that if you're getting this rifle, you've messed up your economy. You do not drop this weapon, otherwise
Yeah.
you're screwed in terms of money.
Yeah.
Pistols, rifles, heavy machine guns, and I think the auto snipers do the standard 300.
Yeah.
So that's sort of your basic. You get enough money to sustain yourself for the next round.
And P90.
Yep.
And,
Yeah, the
and
P90
the
locked
best
at that one
SMG.
as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The best SMG, which is almost like a rifle. It's good, decent at range. It's sort of like in
High
between
armor
being an
pen
SMG and a
damage.
It is
rifle.
basically the cheats weapon
Yeah.
in both COD and CS:GO.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but in high rank CS:GO, it's quite easy to combat it. You just sit at a longer range and use your
Yes.
rifle
Yeah.
accuracy over the P90 to just shut them down before they can get close to you.
But it does have a very,
Oh.
very big clip compared
Yeah,
to most
it's got
Yeah.
guns.
50, isn't it?
and it's accurate while running.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Okay.
after your $300, you've got
Yeah.
the $600, which is what you get from SMGs, apart from the P90. So that's your sort of cheaper weapons. They're good for building your bank up, making a lot of the Skrilla, making all that money from your SMG. And then you've got the $900 from your shotguns. So there's 4 shotguns in the game.
The
which-
Eastern weapons, yep.
The Eastern weapons, yeah, where you
Yeah.
hold a close angle, you try and
Wh-
pick up 1 or 2, and then you've got a huge amount of money going into the next round.
If
and
they're
then
Eastern weapons, what's a Western weapon?
The Western weapons is like normal buys,
Western
Yeah,
weapons
West,
is the-
West is opposite of East, so
Yeah.
it's an
No,
actual
it'd be
good
the
weapon,
revolver,
usually.
wouldn't it?
A real gun.
Oh yeah, the revolver is the
Yeah,
weapon.
should be-
Rubber.
Wait,
Well,
like
well,
I'm
yeah.
basically both
East
sides.
and West. But sorry, I've interrupted. So $900 was
For the
shotties.
shotguns.
shotguns.
Only
Okay.
shotguns. And
That's
then
the
you've
most
got
you can get.
no.
Oh,
the most you
sorry.
can get is $1,500 from knifing someone, stabbing them
Knife
with your knife.
kill.
And
Yeah.
the Zeus is now 0.
Yeah,
Yes,
I know.
yeah, no.
It's mainly an intimidation factor or a bragging point.
It's
Wait,
also-
so if you Zeus someone, which is effectively a knife kill, correct?
It's close-
It's
yeah, only
longer
figure.
range. But
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's longer range and it's almost
One
an
hit
instant
kill
kill.
from anywhere.
The damage drop off is quite heavy at the end. So
Oh, okay.
the reason that
But you
it's
get nothing for it.
zero money because it's a
the money.
last offense. Your reward is you get to save your weapons. Pretty
Well,
much.
what you do see is also
and the ability to teabag the enemy you just lose.
what you do see it was a really very low tier game. It was between a tier. I won't go into the details, but essentially, a team lost a pistol round, and they all bought Zeus's. And they all held close angles, because obviously the other side has their SMGs, maybe their rifles, maybe their shotguns. Who knows? You're able to instantly kill them with the Zeus by just aiming at their body and shooting, and you can pick up their weapon and have that good weapon going into fighting,
forward.
maybe taking out
Yeah.
another enemy.
Okay. I guess there's pros and cons with every weapon, isn't there?
Yeah.
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 Fair
This
enough.
is also very cheap, $200, same price
Yeah.
as Flashbang. So
It's,
Ah,
it's
okay.
certainly like, it's a cheap laugh, admittedly.
Yeah. If nothing else.
good troll weapon. Trigger those
Yeah.
enemies.
Fair enough.
Triggered.
Triggered.
Tilted.
Oh, that's great. All right. Well, does that cover your sort of your basic how thing? Oh, we only got to round 2 or 3, but so
Well,
moving through the rounds, then you, based on your economy, you either buy your rifles or your sniper rifles or your whatever your peak weapon would be for your role, which we'll go into in a minute.
Yep.
And then so there's 50. Is it 15 rounds per half?
13 rounds
Yes.
per half. You
Okay.
switch-
And then you switch sides.
CTs become the CTs.
Okay, so and then at the end, I think you were saying before that you have 15 rounds versus 15 you draw, or you have
15.
It's first to 16.
16.
so-
first to 16.
Yeah.
in proper competitive tournament rules, where there are third-party programs for that now, there would be overtime, which is
One more round,
either
whatever.
3 rounds versus 3 rounds, or 5 versus 5 rounds.
Okay.
So
Usually you see
each
it
overtime
goes like-
can go into a second overtime, and then a third, and then a fourth. Games can go on forever.
Yeah.
so it's like best of 6 usually. You'll see essentially after in overtime you'll get your bank is almost full. You get $10,000, so you're able to buy up for the next 2 rounds regardless if you win or lose. And then it's whoever wins 4 rounds
Yeah.
will win, so then
Yeah.
it becomes first to 19. But if you both get 18, then it becomes first to 23,
And so
first
on.
to, keeps going and on and on and on and on.
Yeah,
until
that's
you
that's
either
cool.
finish
Yeah.
the game or die of exhaustion.
Yeah.
Then it becomes a 4v5.
Yeah, but so normal. But in normal, like if I was to jump on there, level up my account, whatever, I would only ever see 15 versus 15, and if someone got to 16 before I got to 15, then I lose, or
Yeah.
whatever.
Basically.
Okay. All right. Well, does someone want to start us off with the roles? So, in League of Legends for Revolt, I guess you've got tanks, you've got ADC. Well, I guess you've got 5 lanes, five people playing. So each have like a place they play. Does it work the same way in Counter Strike? Is it like a place they play, or they just play styles, or run me through it?
Depends on what's happening in that round. So it all depends on what the IGL is calling, which is in Error 404, which is Risotto.
So
yeah.
IGL. What's an IGL?
In-game
yeah,
leader. So
In-game
the
leader.
boss
In-game
of the
leader.
team, the one that's calling all the shots, what to do, when to do it, if you buy, if you don't, pretty much.
But
Or
what
so-
about in queue? Like when you just like, is it called solo queue? Like what's it called? Like
Yes.
Okay, so it's
like
just
how does that happen?
competitive matchmaking. You can go random, so you just join a random one by yourself, solo, and
Yep,
you'll
solo
play
queue.
with 5 randoms. Normally, there's not many roles in play when you play by yourself. Normally, you just hopefully all have a mic, and you just go, I'm going to go this position with this gun, and hope that they're okay with it, or they all might just want to go by themselves, which can suck in the
Yeah.
end.
It's
but
precisely like League. You know, when you jump into a solo queue, you might not get your preference, and you can choose to be a complete idiot and
Or just
still
learn
lock your
another role.
preference, or you know, like, or you can go, hey, this role needs filling. I'm going to be the bigger man and take it. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not that good, but you know, it's a chance for me to improve.
Riven top only.
No, get out, please. Get out. No, I'm sorry. Like, Riven, I accept now. It's like, yeah, Fiora, no, still stay out of top lane. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so you've got so let's talk about, like, if it was a 5, like if you guys were having your team, so Era 404 were playing, you'd have someone as a leader.
So you've
Me.
got,
Yep.
you can call them
Yep.
strat caller or
Yep.
what
Game
Elk
leader.
said,
IGL.
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 You've also got which basically does all the calling, the strategic plays. If they're, because we're a team, we normally basically pre-work our team plays and our strats before we go into a comp game and trial them out and see how they go. Then you've also got an entry fragger, which Easton loves to do.
No, funny.
No.
First one in.
No,
Well,
not me.
He's last one.
Sorry.
On the other side of the map. How about that?
Yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
Easton likes to be the last one. But there's an
We'll
entry
get into
fragger,
my role in a little bit. Like,
which
mine's
is
a rather interesting
yeah.
role.
So there's the entry fragger, which is the first one in, very aggressive, got a good shot, doesn't miss too much, and
Good
they
shot,
also
good reactions.
and they have good communication. So basically, if they're the first one in and they see 3 guys and he gets taken out, he'll say where they are in the shortest way possible. So if we do continue to push through from that same place, we know whereabouts they're whereabouts they could be sitting.
You've usually got 2 guys following behind, looking at the spots that were just called out where he was shot at from. So
Which are your supports, which
Yeah.
will either be with your one will either be with your AWPer. None, pretty much none will ever be with your lurker unless it's called a set strat. You'll have them with your AWPer, or with your IGL, or with your entry fragger. But
Okay.
the majority of the time, you'll always have one to back up your entry fragger. So if he gets taken out, the second guy's there to follow up and take the kill to bring it back to an even fight.
you'll basically have two through the door within the first couple of seconds.
Yeah.
And
Which is the playmaker and the entry fragger.
You-
Like
you've
playmakers
you've
goes
usually
down.
got your primary AWPer coming in after that, like a few seconds later. And watching his back is usually the 4th person. That usually ends up as the IGL, so that he can still stay alive and call strats.
Yep.
And obviously, you've got me, the lurker,
Oh,
Yeah,
on the
side of the
other side
bloody
of the
map.
map,
that's right.
trying to pick off the 1 or 2 people that are going to rotate to the main site being taken. So my job is to intercept. I
Yeah.
must slow them down as much as possible to give the rest of my team the maximum time to engage and take the site and plant the bomb, or defend the main site.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with lurkers, the main aspects of a lurker is you need to communicate very well with your team. So got to be almost complete silence on your team if you want to have a lurker working effectively. They
Yep.
can hear the things that players can hear, which will tie into the lurker, are switching weapons, grenades, reloading,
Footsteps.
walking,
Steps.
jumping, whatever.
Yeah.
So
And the
sounds-
in-game sound positioning's pretty good, right?
It's
It's
pretty accurate, I have to say.
Yeah.
You know, it probably doesn't have the clarity of Call of Duty when you have the is it the sit rep, the sit rep perk when you
Yeah.
level that.
Ah,
max,
yeah.
Absolutely everything.
Yep.
But I would say it's equivalent to about the first sit rep tier
Okay.
Yeah,
of
it's
accuracy.
It's around 5.1. It's not 7.1, so it can't
Yeah.
be perfect,
Yeah.
but it's still quite decent. You can still
Yeah.
pick up where people are.
No, that's really cool.
Distance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And stuff like Creative's recon mode works very effectively with it. It actually enhances certain sounds that you might not hear in background noise, such as footsteps or weapon switches, or like weapon pickups, actually, I should say.
Yeah.
Because you can't hear weapon switches anymore.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. Still can.
A weapon switch.
Yeah, so
yes.
if somebody
yeah,
pulls out their Glock or an AK, you'll hear them cocking back the weapon or whatever. So in higher tier games, I say higher tier games, I'm talking about more professional here. Sometimes you'll hear people fake reload or fake switch weapon, which will bait the person to come around the corner. But you can switch to another weapon and switch back, which will automatically reset your weapon to where it was.
Or alternatively, you've pulled out a pistol as they've come around a corner, and you've just unleashed, 13 bullets of hell in their general direction.
Yeah, one would suffice, but Alex likes to overkill a lot.
Absolutely, I need to make sure the guy is not hopping up a game.
Get up so I can kill you again.
Believe me, having played many, many games for many, many years with Easton, he has never changed.
Why send 2 tanks into an enemy base when you can send 500?
Economy, but let's not go into that.
No, I've got a better one than you have.
Yeah. No, fair enough.
Back to the lurk. The things that makes a great lurker. Aim doesn't come into it as much as you'd think. It's more so.
Well, it's Easton, so.
Reaction time more so than aim.
I heard that, Phil.
Reaction time.
It's reaction time, knowing the map, knowing the angles, and knowing timings. So, you say if a CT, I'm thinking of Cash here, if a CT is pushing from down to B and then pushing straight through to A via
Through
T.
the CT highway?
No, via B main.
Okay, yeah.
So if they
Going
push
all the
out
way
through,
around.
all the way around, back through garage, back around to A main, and then back into A. If
About
you're a
25
decent
seconds.
lurker, you would know the timing, you would know if you can get into sunroom or not and hide, or where you would hide.
Where
so
you
you
would
can call-
intercept, basically.
Where
Yeah.
you'd hide, where you'd intercept when they run past you, shoot them in the
Where
back.
they wouldn't expect you to
Yeah,
be,
where you wouldn't
basically,
expect,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
where you can hear clearly.
Hello,
So
this
your
is my
teammates
Zeus.
Find
Yeah.
it.
This is my R8.
So I guess Rebuilt, we could relate that very much to
Jungling ganks.
jungling ganks. Yep. So you've seen someone walk into a part of a jungle or walk through a ward. You've got vision of them walking a particular way. You know that they'll get from here to here in a certain period of time, so you can intercept or get there for a gank,
Yep.
a counter gank. Same concept.
Laser.
Lux laser.
The
blind luck.
Pathing as well. Like, if your jungle is at blue and they started at, golems or whatever, then you can probably safe to say that if the other junglers started on the other side and their clear time's similar, then
You know
they'll be at a
approximately where they're going to be.
similar point
You can set up for a red invade,
Or
something
whatever.
like that.
Yeah.
So
than that. Yeah, like hallway going into, is it B? I don't know. Like, is that on dusk where you have the hallway and then it goes into the yard with?
The lowers and uppers. So you'd be talking about uppers.
So you've got tunnels. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
the upper tunnel that goes, I don't know, into the top site.
Yeah.
Is-
B
I don't
bomb
know
site.
what the-
Yep.
Inside, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I thought I was trying to say something.
Yeah.
Yo,
So-
Yeah.
Isn't it called
we've-
tunnels? I thought that was what it was called.
We've
Yeah.
talked
Yeah.
so much about the lurker and their role. I think
Yeah.
for me, the most important role for me, aside from game leader, obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Most important on the team.
Look at me, I'm
I-
the boss.
Most important, I find the entry fragger to be the most important because in your basic sort of setup for the counter terrorists, you'll have 2 on A site, 1 in mid, 2 on B site, sort of comparable to League of Legends, 2 left lane, 1 mid, 2
Yeah.
right lane, unless you've got a jungler.
Yeah.
But if the entry fragger is able to do a 1-for-1, he kills the enemy and then drops. If it's a 5v5, then that's 4 terrorists swarming onto a site with the one counter terrorist trying to deflect all these.
And
Terrorists
it's the
coming down.
one counter terrorist in a known position.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
the entry fragger died to that position.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it actually ends up with 3 counter-terrorists rushing like hell to get to that site, and the one guy is pinned in a position while the other 4 terrorists just calmly walk on the side.
Saying, oh god,
Yeah.
oh god, oh god.
Yeah, oh
And
god,
then-
oh god, oh
yeah.
god, I'm going to die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if
Positive
the
people,
fragger-
positive people.
But
Gonna die quickly.
when they are rotating, most of the time they'll have hopefully their knife out because they're trying to get
Yeah.
there
Yeah.
fast enough.
Yeah.
Because in the
That's when the
game
lurkers
they've got
must-
movement
Yeah.
mechanics of if you've got a knife, you run faster with the person holding a pistol, or you run faster. If you're holding a pistol, you'll run faster than the guy holding an M4 or
Yeah.
an assault rifle.
Well, SMG,
And-
yeah. So, like, the heavier the gun is, the
slower you run.
slower you'll run.
Yeah.
Quite simply.
Usually more pricey means heavier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you were saying, Risotto?
Yeah, so the entry fragger, if they miss their initial shot and they get shot down, if you do have a lurker, now that's a 2v3 essentially on the site. So you've got your entry fragger has gone in and instantly died basically. Not only have they not gotten much information, I mean they've got killed from one area, so they know there's someone in that area, but you've got your one lurker on the complete opposite side of the map, and then now the counter terrorists know that you're coming in from, say for instance, if you're coming from A main on cash, now they're able to set up a crossfire, gun you down, and then suddenly it's a 4v1 and your last guy is holding a Zeus in B main waiting for someone to come fight him. And you've lost the round basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonder who
Well,
could-
no,
maybe,
it basically enables them to leave, say if you're engaging A and you lose the entry fragger, it enables them to leave 2 at B and have the mid rotate to A. So then it essentially sets up a 3v3.
Yeah.
And that
Which
is
favours
very
the
even
counter-terrorists.
grounds,
Yeah.
but CTs have the advantage because they know where 90% of the team will be pushing out.
If T's are all together, T's will always have the advantage. They'll have
And
the
they've-
man advantage and they'll have the gun advantage.
Yeah.
The AK can one tap, the M4 can't. So, if it's an entry fragger goes onto site, kills one guy kills him, it's not the end of the world. You still technically have the advantage. If you're,
Okay.
because if your entry frag is pushing onto site, you want to be all there with him. So, even if he loses that first frag, you're still most likely going to win the round or take the site.
Yeah.
So it's all
more
about
important to take the site, plant the bomb, and lose the round than it is to just...
Lose the round, yeah.
Yeah.
But it is still always good to have that one person waiting for the rotate coming from behind, because in low tier games, from what I've seen, a lot of people never expect a person not to be with their team, helping them hold site. They'd always just rush through.
Oh,
maybe.
shotguns, you know. What
Yeah.
are they
No,
using?
to be honest, yeah, the amount of times that I remember, just playing just casual or like low tier competitive, because as I said, I don't know enough about the game and I'm not very good. And you're like, oh, everyone's at B, run across, and then someone's sitting in mid and they hit you. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
well,
Hello.
Yeah.
that sucks. But it makes perfect sense, yeah.
Yeah, it's all about
One thing
Precise
I'd like
calls.
to ask, like, how much does hardware have to do with, like, how effective you are in the game? Because I know that, like, with League, you can have a pretty crappy computer as long as you've got, like, 30 frames per second.
More than League, it matters, but less than you think.
well.
Yes,
Since
I know.
my computer died and I'm using somebody else's at the moment, the FPS is literally 200 frames per second more than I would be on my computer. And
But-
I've increased well, not really increased. I've noticed visible difference in the reaction times, the speed, the accuracy of yourself. So it does make a big difference, but at the same time, it's all about how you play the game. It's not just about the kills.
Yeah.
So it'd be about
You accommodate for
Yeah.
your system, basically.
yeah.
Well, the
Yeah.
good thing
Because
about Counter-Strike
personally for me, like, well, I just got a 144 hertz monitor
Yeah.
recently, and
Big
I
difference.
noticed a huge difference, especially with getting kills, like just the input lag and stuff. Like it was a huge difference for me.
Yeah, it makes an absolutely. I've got a 144 hertz.
Yeah, because I
1
mean, like
millisecond refresh.
like before I just walk around the corner and then be dead, and now I actually have a chance to fire at them. Like it's, I think it's a huge difference for me.
You have an understanding now that people are probably seeing 5, 6, 7 more frames than you are.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Counter-Strike runs on the Source engine, which is
it's a
not
modified
necessarily-
Source engine, so
Yeah, modified Source engine, but the base Source engine's from what?
Half-Life 2.
Beginning of
it's
2000s-ish.
2000.
Close enough. I don't know the
Yeah.
exact time.
So it's quite old compared to sort of the newer sort of like Cryotech stuff. So CS:GO isn't the most graphically appealing game. Obviously, it's not looking like turd on a plate, but it's looking not
You can see pixels.
Yeah, you can see, and everything's clear. So you're able to sort of run low graphic settings to increase your FPS, because obviously the visuals aren't going to be much worse because they're not exactly that great in the beginning. One thing though about reducing your graphical details,
It's shadows.
Shadows can give away your position.
Hmm.
So if you're peeking a corner, your shadow might peek out first, and then you can see they're there. Sometimes if you turn off shadow
It's
details,
essential to a lurker. You must have shadows on full if you drop everything else.
and also reducing texture details. There's like tons of videos on YouTube and on all these sites of
Ways
10 smokes you must know on this map, or 10 flashes, self-pop flashes you should know. But a lot of those flashes involve finding markings on walls, and on low texture details, those aren't as easy to find.
Yeah.
So, essentially, for a while, you can get away with using little texture detail to increase your FPS, to increase your base reactions, which in low-level sort of silver, gold, maybe even getting to MG, where your aim is basically everything.
Yeah, you walk around a corner, you see someone, you shoot.
Yeah. But as you get into sort of the
And
higher
you shoot
ranks,
accurately.
higher ranks or competitive play,
like
you're
LE and
gonna be-
above, I think it was that somebody told us once that your aim doesn't count
doesn't
for
matter
N4
anymore.
really. It's more
Game knowledge.
positioning, your game sense.
play.
Yeah, so if
Yep.
you're holding an angle, somebody walks around the corner, you've got a full half a second before they shoot you.
It's funny. Like the thing I remember relating it to more than probably necessarily just game detail, because with League it doesn't matter as much because it's an open map effectively, so you can see everything as long as it's within your vision range. The thing that I always found funny with League was ping. So with an FPS, obviously, your ping can make a massive difference because you walk around a corner and your reactions are slower than the other person, therefore you die. By default, you have a disadvantage straight away, and it's quite in a first-person shooter. It's quite very prevalent. With League, there's a few guys I've seen on streams and things like that who play less mechanically precise champions because to compensate for a high ping, and yet they're still in high diamond or challenger, which is what's the equivalent in Counter-Strike?
Supreme Master First Class Global Elite-ish?
Yeah.
LEM.
So as high as you can get in the ranking system effectively.
Yeah.
But they have a 70 to 130 ping disadvantage to the other players. So with League, I guess it's not necessarily about visual detail. It's more about, like you say, game sense, knowing the map, knowing the abilities, and being used to the fact that you know that when you press your button, 100 milliseconds later, this happens. Whereas for someone else, that they're used to 50 ping or 10 ping or whatever. Whereas with a first-person shooter, you walk around a corner and there's a line on a wall, and as soon as you walk past that line, you see someone, and if you've got a high ping, you can't do anything about that. So I would say, you do have it's more about game sense than anything else. But like you say, once you get to a certain point, I guess it's visual detail on Counter-Strike would be really, really important. Yeah. Anyway,
I think
Tangents.
is about the maximum you can get before the enemy has an extreme advantage over you.
Yeah.
Because above that you start rubber banding, teleporting, glitching out.
Yes, we just need to ask Predator how bad it is.
Yeah.
And he'll kindly tell us that, I'm
What
not
do you
playing
mean
anymore.
Predator? I thought you were talking about Snowcone. He just
Oh,
doesn't
no.
even get into the game.
Well, like I can honestly say, like I've just recently moved properties. I now have NBN, and I have between 15 and 30 ping maximum to any servers we're playing on, right? In Counter Strike, unless it's someone hosting in Perth, which is 50. But
Damn you, Sean.
yeah, exactly. That's pretty much it. But I can feel the difference, and I can tell the difference now from me walking around a corner, because I was always a Call of Duty single shot, like or semi-automatic rifle, one headshot sort of guy. I never played with automatic rifles because I knew I could walk around a corner and click on someone, they would die. So in Counter Strike, for me, that difference in ping has made so much difference just in my general ability to walk around a corner and hit someone, because my game knowledge is not massive. Anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah. But yeah, so
As we were saying, the aim is the biggest thing up until some of the higher ranks. So nowadays it'd be Gold, Nova, and above is where you got to start learning.
because they changed all that recently too, didn't they?
details of the game. Yeah, they changed the ranking system altogether.
It's
Essentially-
actually better where they should all be instead of
Yeah.
where
Everyone
wanted
are
to be.
global.
Sort of, yeah, in the silver,
Yeah, it's
areas.
high silver, low gold. Basically.
yeah, high silver, low gold is sort of the cutoff where you need to start learning the tactics and start learning the team play aspects. Not necessarily learning roles as such, but learning, especially like I've gone into games at my tier level. Which
It's
I'm
more
not
so
going
how
to
you
say,
interact with
but,
other players,
yeah.
and your general positioning, rather than your understanding of the character itself.
Yeah, because I've gone into games saying, like, on Cash especially, there's a lot of strange not just specifically strange, but sort of interesting ones that you've got. Some that you don't usually see on other maps. You've got stuff like Sunroom, Toxic,
Checkers.
Checkers,
Then,
Vents. You hear that one?
Well,
But,
probably the most common call out on those all maps would be tunnels, mid, or your mid, BA,
AB,
tunnels, short,
Overwatch.
catwalk,
Overwatch, or Heaven usually.
Heaven.
yeah, Heaven,
is-
Overwatch. It just really depends on the region as to what it's
but
called.
the uncommon ones that I know of are the ones Risotto said, which are
Case is
Checkers, Sunroom,
Toxic,
Squeaky's another common one.
Squeaky, yeah. That's actually quite common, yeah.
It's,
Balcony's
it's called
not so
Squeaky
common.
because of the door.
The door squeaks.
Yeah.
But like you go into games in the silver ranks, people don't know the call outs, so you sort of say they're on the right side, or sort of say harder to say.
Behind
sort of,
you,
because,
left,
yeah, behind
right,
you.
up, down.
Yeah, behind
Yeah.
who? Like, who are we
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about? There's five
Yeah.
people on a team.
people on the
One's died, there's four left.
Everyone just
so-
whips around.
Yeah, and then got shot from behind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, here's my back. Shoot me now, please.
Yeah.
So
And
you
myself.
can sort of get away with not knowing the sort of more like more strange call outs in sort of like the, because you have your basic ones, and then you can sort of get like grid lines where you can see like this entire area is called A, but then you've got quad here, toxic here, and sort of, so it's more specific. You can sort of get away from with knowing sort of the basic ones, sort of as Easton said, high silver, low nova or gold nova. But as you get past that threshold where it's not about your aim, it's about your team play, you need to know those callouts. And
Yeah.
if you're going in to play a new map, play it on casual first, or
Yeah.
go over the map and by yourself, just walk around it.
Alternatively, sit there for hours on end just watching YouTube videos, because there are tons that teach you every
Teach you
single
everything.
thing.
yeah.
No matter
About the
how
game.
much you watch beforehand, you're gonna get confused in game
Yeah.
because everyone calls something different.
Something different, yeah. I have seen some just basic maps. If you just do a Google search of map names,
They've
they'll
got
give you a
really-
basic. This is what
Yeah.
most people call this, and this, and this. And Dust 2 is the classic one because it's the most commonly played, I guess.
Overly
We don't talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess that's the big things. Like, I could confidently say that I know where most places are on Dust 2 because obviously it's been around for so long.
Aztec's the other, but that's
Aztec,
Come on, Phil,
but it's
I'm gonna
not
put you on
not
the spot here on Dust 2, where is ramp?
ramp.
Ramp.
Ramp is moving up into a site.
Yep.
Yeah,
from A long. Yeah.
from long or from bottom, from CT
Yeah,
spawn.
Through CT.
There's a few ones that are strange on Dust 2.
Yeah.
I'm just having a look now.
Yeah.
There's
Well, you got like double doors is
Car.
coming through. You got the car there. Yeah, it's
Well, either way, if you see an object where you've died or where you saw an enemy, you can somehow just say this.
car at long or whatever.
Yeah, you can
Anything
usually
that's
just
obvious.
go a car, and they go, okay, he's not referring to the
B-
car at
B
B
car.
site.
Yeah.
Yeah. My favorite call of all game, or any map, is called Suicide. It's literally just rush down the middle of...
Yeah.
And I'm guessing that's why it's called Suicide. You go down there, you're dead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Well, there's usually an AWPer sitting there looking through the doors there, and yeah.
Great.
But yeah, communication is like number
It's
one. Like if you
critical,
do
actually.
play a solo comp game, and not many people are actually talking on their mic, maybe
Mhm.
step up and say some strats. Okay, let's have 2 go A, 2 B, 1 mid, or because a lot of the time people don't like to talk in a comp game. No one likes to step up and take the strat caller's role because they're worried that if they do a bad job, they're going to get criticised by the rest of the team. They're going to blame you for the loss. So, that's
everyone
also
learns
important.
somewhere though. So this is the thing that people need to understand. And
Yeah.
by you strat calling, you actually get better at the names of sites or
Yeah.
positions that you want people to play. So
And like you do have to make sacrifices sometimes. Like most games, you wouldn't buy more than 2 AWPs on a
Mhm.
team. And you might have 2 randoms that just bought 2 AWPs, but you really want an AWP. So you'll
Unless
go,
you're
okay,
Fnatic.
yeah, unless you're Fnatic and you have all AWPs.
Yeah.
that's fun. Yeah,
But
unless you're Eastern, sacrificing actually means
Yeah.
like buying an AK,
so
or
you
buying an
buy an
M4.
AK or an SMG, or even if you want to go the R9 and just one hit with the revolver like Easton does.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
yeah, sometimes you have to make sacrifices for your favorite role that you like to play, or use your favorite gun that you
Yeah.
want to use.
Yep.
All of mine are affordable, sucked in.
That's cool. Yep. Well, I guess that covers sort of the basic rundown of the game. Rebolt, was there any sort of things that you still unsure of that you might want to just clarify before we finish this one up?
Not really. This game looks pretty like it has the good formula for like a popular game. Like it's you get into the game and just shoot people and then there's
still depth to it though, right?
Infinitely increasing depth as you get more knowledgeable about it. So
Yeah.
The one thing
just
I would-
seems like that the same as League. Easy to play, hard to master. So
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
The game
If-
is
I would
if-
like to add, though,
If you can get a team together, it does make things a bit easier.
makes it much easier.
Because you've got your communication. You're all, let's say, using a third-party program like TeamSpeak or Skype to communicate rather than through Steam. And you know your mates. You know how they play, what they like to do. You can just kind of balance it all out, and
It's
actually
precisely
rank
the
up
same as
much
League.
easier.
It's much easier to play in a team where you know what the other 4 people are doing.
Yeah.
or you could just run around like a headless chook and shoot everyone. I mean,
Well, you know,
Well-
you can do
Jump
that
shots,
for other
man.
People, absolutely. You
Jump
can do
shots
that for
OP.
other people. It's a lot of fun.
creating new strategies every day.
level 3 Alistair Rome gank top.
Yeah. Basically, in Counter Strike, that is called Strat Roulette. And for anyone that wants a fun time in CS:GO without playing seriously,
Strat roulette.
Goes to take
It's
goes
good
to take topside scuttle crab.
no,
Yes.
it might be
Gets killed by
playing with your
the ADC
forehead as a
because
mouse
they're
pad.
rotating top.
Is that-
No, I'm not
Yeah, right.
saying that is a legitimate strat out of Strat Roulette.
It's
Oh,
really
nice.
painful when you have a laser mouse.
It's the chaos.
Yes,
red
it
factor.
is.
laser
You
mouse.
shine it in your eye and it hurts.
No, that's fair enough. All right, well, I guess we can wrap it up here, guys. We can go into more depth in another episode. I think we'll probably look back at League for next week. MSI is happening at the moment, which is the mid-season invitational, so we can have a bit of a chat about that one. For you guys, maybe over the next 2 weeks, we'll keep an eye out on competitive scene. We'll have a bit of a chat about the next. But for everyone watching, our socials are in the video. So we are on Facebook. Keep us in mind there. There's the website, and also rolling into our strategy communication talk. We have TeamSpeak here. So jump in, have a chat to any of us, and we'll get you set up. Any other comments anyone needs to say before we go?
Risotto's dad just became internet famous.
He did indeed. He did indeed.
I was like, no one's gonna notice. It's fine, you know.
It's alright.
Nah, it's fine.
Want a cup of tea?
See it.
You want a cup of tea, mate? Can I have one, please? But no. Alright, thanks so much, everyone. I guess we can all say goodbye, and that'll wrap the episode up here.
Yeah, thanks guys.
No worries.
Thanks. See you next
I'll
week.
see you all next week.